Yo, what's going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes here, aka the Clock Master. I'm here with my wife,
Shannon, aka Cosmic Binks.
and we are here to check out
Gen V episode 3.
hashtag Think Brink.
Think Brink.
Think Brink. Okay, so as usual, we won't be long in this intro for this one. If you want to see our reactions to the previous episode, please go ahead and do so. Full reactions are on our Patreon for the show and for the movie reactions as well. And if you guys want to stick around for the end of the video, we tend to have a slightly longer than normal conversation about all things pertaining to the episode, any thoughts, predictions, theories, and we might veer off a little bit onto some other side conversations. So if you're interested in that, you can skip to the chapter section as well at the end of the video for our discussion. Or if you're just here for the reaction, I appreciate you stopping by and checking out the reaction. And if you like what you see later on, consider subscribing for more reactions to Gen V. Yeah. So yeah, unless you have anything else you want to add,
No.
Welcome to MVH. Yeah. And yeah, we'll talk about it later as we normally do. Let's get into it now. So she knows about her. She knows about his brother. She knows about him. She pretended like she didn't know.
No, she said that he killed himself. She didn't know he was still alive.
Stop it. Okay.
Oh. Oh.
Go to sleep.
Jesus, fuck, are you okay? You wouldn't
Jeez.
I wasn't sure.
Damn.
Under me from my stone cold idiocy.
Right? That's a good rewrite.
I feel like she knows more about what's going on though.
Janitor was so
She might, but she might not.
She might not, but it's possible.
How did that work out for Luke?
If you charge in there, you're going to get caught, and then God knows what. And
Cate,
then
Cate,
just
Cate.
stop and think about it for a second.
No.
She's not wrong.
But she's not.
You have to be smarter than that.
I feel like she survived a horror movie.
Right.
Stop.
They had some type of tension.
Yeah, grief tends to do that to people too.
Yeah, but they had some type of tension though. I mean, it's been there for a while. This isn't shocking me at all. How long is this going on though? Like how long? Like,
Well, I don't think it actually ever happened until
we don't know. They could have been in a previous relationship until Golden
I
Boy.
mean, she seemed kind of, offset by doing it initially.
Hey, I don't. You know, people if they were involved in something before. I mean, they might have been like, we should be doing this. No, we should. No, we will. But then it could be like a grief thing that maybe I don't know. We'll talk more about it later.
Emma?
Out here.
How small did she get? Jesus.
God. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Cut yourself. Are you gonna take a break? Get help?
That's different. That's my power.
That's her power.
And that's her power.
Focus on classes like you said. We can just be roommates, okay?
Fine.
Now she's pushing away,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't blame her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just the blue, then.
Alopecia, anal cancer, anti-bullying.
Oh, okay.
Isn't it also autism awareness is blue?
Something.
When that bottle blonde ambushed you with that shit about your sister. That was on purpose, by the way.
Get out of
Shut
here.
up.
True. What? Why? Pressure. But I would love a chance to show you off. What do you say?
Mm-hmm.
It's sad because she's trying to come off nice, but she's manipulative to
Yeah.
the core. There's
Trying to
nothing nice about
manipulate
her.
to a point that she has a family.
Mm-hmm.
To a monster.
I wonder if part of her actually sees her as a daughter though, because she lost hers.
Possible.
I don't know.
No, I know.
Hard to trust anyone
Just as a
here.
freshman. Strong and humble. Harder than it looks.
He's so pissed.
Mm-hmm. Media training.
Yeah.
Unsanitary blood powers, and mark my words, are a lawsuit waiting to help people. That'll be good, right?
Thank you for having me.
got so much pressure on him.
Mm-hmm.
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 You filming this?
I want everyone to know how sorry I am.
Yeah, you want everyone to see how sorry you are. Get out of here.
Guessing having a gila. Tickets must have cost a fortune.
Maybe that's how she got on.
You are on your own now. You need to be careful about your calorie intake, okay? Are you keeping your food log?
Yes, Mama.
Oh, there it is.
Thank God you single-handedly stopped that monster's murderous frenzy.
Yeah, of course they're gonna be mad at her. I don't blame her or any of them for being mad.
No.
Which doesn't make sense. He would have never killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
I should have been there.
I'm sorry.
I mean, respect to her for not using her power on him.
The big deal is that little liar is stealing all my credit. Go away!
Just a second.
Oh boy.
Who's that?
Yikes.
Fuck off, it's my parents.
They don't know, do they? Or do they not want to see that they can change? I don't know.
I don't know.
Hungry? Brought you some Whataburger. Deep's calamari poppers.
Nevada burger.
Deep's calamari poppers. Deeper. Vitality.
They're really pushing this red on her now.
Yep. The symbolism.
Yeah.
I have blood red powers.
They here?
No, they're both in Cameroon. Doctors Without Borders.
I mean, she's been doing that life for a while.
Mm-hmm.
About my family felt pretty shitty.
I mean, you've done it before, though.
Yeah. The truth, and you don't want to say it.
And they're going to forget about it anyways.
Yeah, they don't care about all that.
I mean, that part is true. They're really not going to care.
Yeah.
Been DMing the last couple days, and she wants to talk to you about maybe.
But no one knew about the tragic underbelly.
Tragic underbelly.
It's a rebrand
Of the eating disorder.
The eating disorder.
Yes, and you know,
Yeah, of course I want to capitalize.
Notion of female perfection, right? Gavott's glossy bullshit.
Yeah.
Real pain.
You want money.
That's exactly what you want.
Alive, or
It's few people as products, not people.
Yeah.
it's a
I feel so bad for her, man.
Yeah.
Not fair at all.
I'm really sorry, Emma.
I mean, she a real one for that, though.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no, this is probably too little, too late, but I'd really like us to be.
Come on. That's all y'all both want is to be friends, man. Come on, man. Y'all need each other. These two need each other, if anything.
Yeah.
If anything on this show, these two need each other.
Yeah. You need a real one on your side.
So when he was in 3rd grade, there was this girl, Ruby.
Daddy, we used to try on prom dresses together in high school, so maybe we can be wife and wife.
Sorry about this. He can get dramatic.
oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's their power. I mean, they're strong, too, and they can fight and everything.
Yeah.
you gotta work with what you got. It's kind of,
I mean, it's exploiting me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Everybody uses everyone, and I
go fuck yourself.
Ooh.
Ugh. I don't blame her.
This is fan-fucking-tastic.
Should we talk about our intercourse situation?
Uh-huh.
Well, sorry. That sounded
Talk about our intercourse situation.
Yes. Just
Yes.
Not now.
Not now.
Later.
Okay. Okay.
Definitely seems like it was the first time, but they had tension,
Yeah.
though. They definitely had.
Oh yeah, there's tension. But
what does he want with her now? That's what I want to know.
you might just feel bad.
Do they know each other?
Hey, I wanted to talk to you.
About Marie.
He wants her to go in
It really did come.
Wants her to go in what?
the woods.
Yeah, because she's small enough to get there. Yeah. Nice catch.
but you do. You can be a boy forever if you want. Sometimes I think you change
That's
into a
part
girl
of
just
their
to spite
power.
me. Stop.
Damn, it's a touchy subject.
Well, obviously.
I've always just been me.
And I mean, your sex shouldn't change that.
Yeah.
Or what you identify as.
Exactly.
You're still the same person you are, regardless. On the inside, look, bro, this is just a carcass. Our souls are our souls, man.
Yeah.
Fuck?
Yeah.
What are they doing down there? I mean, fuck, could they do that to us? Are we in danger? I mean, should we tell someone?
I don't know what we'd say.
Don't tell
All I got is
nobody.
this and, well, look,
Oh, shit.
I mean, saying it
Yeah.
out loud, I know it sounds like a bad fucking idea, so you should forget I said
No, I'm totally in, dude.
because it is like life or death dangerous, and you're a freshman.
No matter what you say. Yes.
I'll see you in an hour.
Got it. Get it. Got it. Good.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just still stoned.
Sweet Jesus. Okay, just be careful, okay?
Northwest Wing 4. She gotta be careful because they might have motion tracking down there too, and like heat sensors. We don't know what they
Would
got.
that matter though? Because she's like the size of an ant.
The camera could be able to zoom in. Is that a drumstick? Bro, that's a drumstick.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, for that purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, there she is.
Careful, because he might, I don't know. Yeah. Oh, you see? Oh, she's looking at the food.
No.
Yep, there it
looking
is.
at her.
The Guardian of Godolkin.
That's a big title to just throw on me. The Guardian of Godolkin now, man.
Stars like her, the future she deserves. A donation to the Think Brink.
And he was, I'm pretty sure he wasn't really a good person.
No, obviously.
But all these look photoshopped.
They do.
There's some fucked up shit going on, and that's why Luke killed Brink. Because there's this underground hospital where they keep everybody, and then...
Who else have you told?
Nobody.
Don't say another fucking word about this.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the council. We saw him.
He knows.
Hey, polarity.
Hey, Kevin.
Wow.
You and the boy want to chop it up.
All these heroes are actors, man.
Yep.
We know this.
No idea.
What's your name? Dip top. How about dip top?
How did I break my arm in second grade?
Fuck, man, I don't know.
Tell me!
On a bike. Who the fuck knows, man?
What's your name? You're real.
Yeah?
For real.
Holy shit. You do know this is the dumbest test ever, right?
Well,
What do you
if you imagine, she would know all the answers.
Big trouble.
There might be cameras in there, dude.
No, I don't.
She's so tiny, it might not even matter.
No.
I mean, I guess I could give you the codes to all the security doors. They don't think I pay attention. But I do.
Gosh, this isn't good either, because then he's
No.
gonna think his brother's alive and he's gonna freak out.
Yeah. Oh, man, anxiety.
I know.
One-upper, mommy and daddy's perfect little hero.
Yeah,
Not
but
even
that's definitely
close.
Not me, because my parents are dead. Because I killed them.
Jordan, you're not the only one that got problems.
Yeah.
Like, you have problems, yeah, granted. I get it, but like everybody got problems.
Well, I can't blame him because Marie looks like she has the perfect life.
Yeah.
My
So,
little brother grabbed him by the arm, and I told him to go away and never come back. So he did. He just walked right into the woods. That was the first time my power showed up.
Killed my grandpa with my powers.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I know. I was just feeling left out.
At least I try to make light of it.
It is about
Yeah, but you can't see her.
It's about being alone.
Upscaling Zoom cameras, they got him.
Finding your humanity.
Everybody might think he's talking to himself. So.
Yeah.
Oh, can't. If I eat, I...
Like Alice in Wonderland.
Exactly. Yeah. Except with a lot more puking.
You're the furthest thing from gross.
I mean, they're having a genuine conversation here.
Yeah.
You're pretty. Brave.
Thanks.
She's brave for doing that.
Yeah.
No,
but she don't. I don't know if she gonna make it out though.
Oh no.
I ship it.
Yeah.
What is it?
High alert.
Hey. As soon as they turn off the electricity, run.
What electricity?
Oh.
Ouch.
Oh my god.
Damn.
I mean, it's not gonna harm him. At least kill him at least.
Shoot. Ouch, man.
Oh gosh, this is scary. This is very scary.
God, it's like an Ant-Man thing.
Yes.
You know, you're dead. She's inside your ears.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh!
Holy crap.
The truth about having Ant-Man powers. Oh, they can't go back to school. She can't go. Emma can't go back to her room. Oh God, it's gonna be gross.
Oh, what is that?
What is that? Are they being mind controlled? Oh, that's just the air of the air. Oh.
Oh gosh. This is the grossest thing possible.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
Is he?
Oh God. Oh my God.
Oh my
no, Emma is
God.
screwed.
Oh my god. Oh.
Oh man. Well, that'll indubitably do it.
That will absolutely surely.
That will do. That will do. All right, your thoughts, my dear. What do you
Wow.
this episode and the 3-episode premiere? What are your thoughts? Where we at?
Wow. I'm like at a loss for words. That just kind of tripped me up. That was a lot, but I'm definitely interested in the show for sure. This definitely solidifies it for me that, you know, this is some peak stuff right here. You know, I really think that this is off to a really good start. And they're giving us like peaks of where it's going, obviously. You know, like I feel like the big thing from the previews is like, oh, the woods, like what is it? Like what, you know, exposing the woods and, you know, all that stuff. So it's definitely a good premiere, I feel. I feel like they're giving you a lot, but like they're gonna throw you off.
Yeah.
So I feel like they did a good job with that. And I definitely think the show is like up to the boys' standard, like in quality and, you know. I feel like it's great, really, so far. So yeah.
I kind of have a rating for where I'm at right now, just based off of 3 episodes. So I were to rate the 3 episodes into one premiere, I'm kind of at a 72. I'm kind of out of a 7 out of 10. It's still good.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It just feels empty. And I'll explain what I mean. So what I liked about The Boys was not only did we get to see things from the suit perspective, what we're missing right now is the lack of real standouts in main characters. Now, Marie is great. She's growing on me. Her story's developing. Emma, I love her. Her story's developing on me as well. I keep forgetting the Magneto kid name.
Andre.
Mm-hmm. You know, his morale, everything. The group that they're setting up, they all have their own thing and starting to think a little bit. Mm-hmm. But from the very beginning, I'm trying to compare this to my experience to The Boys. And they're different shows in the sense that they have different objectives in a way, but it's a spinoff. It's still in the world of Vought. It's still a boys story. Mm-hmm. What I liked about episode 1 for The Boys and just the first 3 episodes of season 1 was strong characters that really made you want to see more. They were great leads. And we saw that in Huey in the first episode, you know, having, you know, Robin taken away from him and then trying to get revenge any way he possibly can. And within the 3 episodes, you start to see that thing. And then we run into Butcher. We went into Billy and Carl Urban runs a screen. So you have those two. You have a nice duo on screen, very strong actors, very strong presence from the beginning. And it was more than just Homelander. It was more than just, and obviously Homelander too. I mean, you know, I keep forgetting his actor's name. It's losing
Anthony Starr.
Anthony Starr, thank you. He's a standout too. So you have all these great big main characters that are leading and carrying the show. That everything else kind of falls into place and makes it better. Great setup, great characters, and having a show like this, you need to have really great characters. So I feel like the characters need some work right now. We're only in episode 3, but I'm just comparing it to seeing, you know, episode 3 of The Boys season 1. I was already hooked. I was already hooked on Huey. I was already hooked on, you know, Butcher. I wanted to know what was going on.
I want to cut you off real quick.
Yeah.
Because I do understand that too in that perspective. But I also feel like for these characters specifically, like we don't know anything about them. We're unfolding them as they go along, just as they're unfolding each other. And I think that's kind of bringing a new perspective for me, at least. Is that, you know, they really don't know who they are. They're getting involved in this world, in, you know, Vought and, you know, all of that stuff. And they all have their own things going on. And obviously the big thing with, you know, Luke's murder-suicide in the beginning, that kind of set the tone and set these characters up to go through different things. And obviously there's grief with his girlfriend and Andre, and like, you know, Andre trying to figure out, you know, where his brother is. And, you know, that obviously boosted Marie up. And now she's kind of the golden child right now. Yeah. Like everyone is, you know, setting her up to be this amazing thing. Like, oh, she's a freshman. She's on the top 10. So I think for me, that doesn't bother me too much because we're still unfolding them. They're still unfolding themselves.
Yeah.
But I do understand your perspective. Though.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying, but like to apply that though as a kind of a reverse, it was the same thing for The Boys season 1. We didn't know anything about. We didn't know much about Huey besides what we saw on the screen. We didn't know much about Billy. Billy was a big mystery. Yeah. We didn't know. We just knew that he claimed he can help him. Yeah. And he's this big mysterious guy. And we didn't know it was only up until the most recent season is when we really got to know more, you know, season 1 and season 2 as it unfolded, we got to know more about, you know, throughout the season, we got to know more about Billy's past, and his relationship with his wife and what happened between him and Homelander. And then finding out that his wife had a kid with Homelander, not by choice, but she got a kid out of what happened. And, you know, here we are. So, I mean, we got the revelations about him, but in the beginning, it was just like he commanded a presence on screen.
I do understand
that, you know, and I'm saying like that's just my only real criticism here. No shots to the actors. They're doing a good job, I believe. They're, you know, I just don't feel like any one of them really stand out to me as much as the core boys cast did in the beginning. I'm only using the first 3 episodes for comparison.
I'm not really trying to compare it too much because while yes, it is, you know, a spinoff, obviously. Yeah. It's its own thing. So obviously there's hints and like, you know,
just to clarify stuff. Just to clarify, to interrupt real quick. I'm saying that to say that I'm only comparing it to season 1 of The Boys to draw my comparison of what stands out for me in a show.
No, I understand.
And I'm also making it clear for the viewers too.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily trying to do a one-to-one comparison. They're telling different stories. They're telling the same story, but in different ways. That's fine. I'm not trying to compare that. I'm just comparing the impact of the characters that it had on me. And these are things that I look for in any show that I watch.
So, question for you then.
Yeah.
Did you set your standards higher than, you thought they would be?
Not really. I didn't. No, I didn't, because I didn't really see any previews, any trailers.
I'm just trying to see like where that could be coming from.
No, it's just coming from a place of what I normally rate things on.
I understand.
You know what I mean? Like any show that I watch, I don't voice it all the time, but any show that I watch, I always look out for standout characters. Not saying that I'm not saying these are bad characters. I'm just saying something feels a little missing from their entrance to us, because we're seeing now, because here's the thing, and this is something I'm also going to consider too, though, is that is that maybe why The Boys felt different is because The Boys was new, right? Yeah. It was a new thing, uncharted territory. We have never seen anything like this in mainstream media, in TV, in movies, up until that point.
Yeah.
Season 1 it will forever be historically changing the superhero genre. It changed the way we viewed superheroes. Some people say The Boys ruined Marvel movies for them. Like, especially when we see the reality of the aftermath, right? Yeah. Marvel only really started to deal with the aftermath of things much later.
Yeah.
The first hint of that we saw was in Spider-Man Homecoming, when we saw Vulture and we saw the DOD, the damage control, when they would start to that. I think that was the first real actual effect we started to see. We did see hints before, like in Iron Man 3, we saw that hint. And then we obviously in Age of Ultron, we saw how, Tony Stark's situation affected
even Civil War with
the Sokovia Awards. So yeah, we saw all of that. We saw the big issues, but we never saw how it really affected the little guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Until I personally feel till Homecoming, and then leading on to Falcon and Winter Soldier, because that's when we saw, like in Homecoming, obviously with Vulture being, an everyday dad trying to provide for his family. And now they have an opportunity here where the aftermath is leaving these things, this alien technology that they can reverse engineer and whatever, right? So the point is, we got that later. In The Boys, we see those consequences much earlier.
Yeah.
Season 1, there was hella consequences, mad consequences, right? Like A-Train running through Robin. That had an immediate effect on the viewers and an immediate effect on Huey. And A-Train's going about his day normally. But then, here it is. And then obviously for comparison too, we never see the effects of that, of what the Jedi do, until shows like, season 7 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars, when we meet Trace and Rafa, and they talk about how the Jedi came and their parents died as a result of the Jedi doing something, and then all they were told was, "May the Force be with you."
Right.
And then now they have to live with no parents and they're orphans.
I think another main difference though between I'm with you on what you're saying, so I don't, but just to challenge you a bit.
Yeah, that's fine.
We also have to remember that these are still like teenagers, young adults, from ages 18 to like 20, like 23 at most, I'd say. So they're gonna, do stupid stuff. They're gonna, like we did kind of see what an after effect could have been with when Andre almost killed that girl.
Oh, can I interrupt her? I'm not saying this doesn't have that effect.
Yeah.
Not at all. By no means, because in the first episode we saw that. I was
talking about the consequences that you were referring to.
This show has it. I never said it never did. Like in first season, I always said that in the first episode, I said that's what I liked about is that it shows the show. No.
Might have been misunderstanding.
No, probably misunderstanding me. Not at all. I'm not saying that this show does not have that at all. Far from it. This show you're clearly seeing the consequences of actions. I mean, Andre did what he did, and immediately, you know, Marie had to take the blame because of how the trickle effect, or even, with Golden Boy doing this thing that affected everybody. Everybody got affected by it. So no. I'm not saying this show. I might have rambled on a little bit too much about that point. I was just the point of me rambling about the effects was to just say that the boys, including Gen V, showcased what Marvel could not.
I understand.
That's more so. I think I rambled too much, and I might have got confused there. Yeah, that was the point I was making. That the boys, I understand. Yeah, including this show, did what Marvel and DC could not have done, or took too long to do. I was more so the main point. My main criticism that I need to reiterate, just so that we're all on the same page, is that while I love these characters, and I love what they can become, and I'm interested in seeing their journey, the impact that they're leaving on me is not, I'm not fully sold on the characters yet in comparison to any other thing that I've watched. That's my main, that's my main criticism right now.
This is only 3 episodes.
Yeah, just based on 3 episodes.
There's only so much you can do in 3 episodes, but I mean, if the fact that you're interested is enough.
Yeah,
you know, the fact that you are interested, you know, obviously there is something there that's going to make you want to watch more, whether it's character, story, you know, doesn't mean you can't develop, you know, more different feelings about characters going off.
I mean, another example of what I mean is, and this obviously is Jenna Ortega, so I kind of went in with some bias for Wednesday because I had already seen her act. So, you know what, let me not use Wednesday because I already had some bias for Jenna. I already knew that she was going to be good. Let me not use Wednesday. Let me use something that didn't have actors that I was familiar with. Let's see. What did we watch recently that had a bunch of actors? Beetlejuice. I mean, I was already familiar with Keaton. I was already familiar with.
Perfect example.
Well, that's a movie, so they have to tell a story beginning and end. So what show did we watch within the last couple years that had a new cast?
Andor. I mean,
we already knew Cassian though. We already familiar with Cassian.
There's very few that we.
Yeah, there's very few.
I mean, there was Wheel of Time, but that was, you know, we already are.
So let's see.
Developed.
Let's see. How did I feel about Wheel of Time when I first saw the characters? Okay, I think Wheel of Time is a perfect example. That might be a good example. So if I can recall how I felt about season 1, I'm trying my best to recall how I felt.
It's been a
while. But from what I remember how I felt, because I remember doing a review, I remember my review for it. Based on the first 3 episodes for the Wheel of Time, these are new actors I've never seen before, besides Rosamund Pike and Daniel Henney. Leaving those 2 out.
Yeah, everyone else, the main core cast. Perrin, Egwene, Nynaeve. I've never seen them act in anything prior to the Wheel of Time. So these are new actors for me, new faces, new characters. And the way they were written, albeit they're different types of stories, but we're just going to talk about character creation and writing in general as a whole. The way they were written and the way the actors were able to portray the characters. By episode 3, we didn't know too much about them, but I had enough for me to be like, okay, I need to know what's going on. Matt was an immediate standout. Do you not have that for this?
I'm talking about like in terms of standouts. Matt was a standout for me. Lots of question marks. Wanted to know what's going on with him. Rand, what's going on with him? Egwene, all the main cast. I was like, okay, I'm already sold. I can go to sleep and I'll picture these characters in my head. I don't get the same exact effect as I do with these characters. My interest is there. My interest is definitely there. And guys, sorry, this is not, and the reason I know I'm probably repeating myself a lot here, so you'll have to forgive me because in these after discussions, you're watching me process this thing in a live way. So I don't have all my thoughts fully processed yet, which is if you want to hear my processed thoughts, go to the review section and you'll see a more concise evolution of my thoughts. As of right now, you're just seeing us unravel our thoughts as we go along. So there is going to be a chance that I repeat the same thing. That's just how my brain processes things. So anyways, I'm really trying to evaluate everything so far about the characters. Marie is obviously a standout. Her whole thing is a standout. they're all standouts in their own way. I think I can just end my statement by just saying this, because I will run the risk of repeating, but they're all standouts.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know more about Touch Girl.
Mm-hmm. I keep forgetting
the names are losing me right now.
Yeah, I think I know all of them outside of hers.
Touch Girl, Emma. If I'm being so real with you, I'm not gonna lie to you. Emma, I'm more interested in Emma's story than I am Marie.
Yeah, I do understand that, because I mean, they've done a lot of things with Emma, and I was gonna talk about this anyway. So
yeah, I guess we can segue into that.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that anyway, because I really liked that scene with her and Sam. Because I feel like he's actually seeing her as a person and not just her power.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, obviously he asked about it, and anyone with eyes is going to be curious. That's just especially if you haven't seen somebody or whatever in a while, like, you're gonna be curious. But he's asking questions to her as a person, and she's feeling seen.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not, being seen as like an object that
as like some clown show.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, carnival trick.
Exactly. And I really liked that conversation between the two of them, because I'm sure he's felt similarly.
She's not judging him.
Exactly.
Everyone sees him as this crazy guy.
Exactly. So, no, and, he was making sure to protect her, put her up on the shelf so she didn't get electrocuted. Like that. I just really liked that, because this whole time, even down to her mom, it's like, counting her calories and, making sure he's like, you're like 2 inches shorter. Like, you need some more calories.
Eat some more. Yeah.
Like, just micromanaging her entire life, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So she's had a lot going on throughout her life, if that's what she's been having to deal with the whole time. So that alone is very stressful. And you go to college, think you don't have to be micromanaged, but instead you're being seen as something to laugh at, or an object that someone can toy around with.
Because you think you blend in with these people.
Yeah.
And then you don't.
Exactly. And Sam is the only person, outside of Marie, that's actually, seeing her as a person and someone that he can relate to.
Yep.
So I ship them.
Yeah, I do too. I think they're cute. I really hope they both make it out, because I have no idea if they're gonna even make it out of this situation at all.
Yeah, it's definitely scary.
Yeah.
Because Sam might have to step in to help with those, 2 or 3 people that just came in?
Yeah, and it's going to be more.
Yeah.
There's going to be more, man.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously one of the bigger threats in there.
Yeah, I mean, he might...
But he knows the codes to all the places.
He has escaped before.
He has escaped before, yeah. If Marie and Andre didn't help, he might have gotten away.
Yeah.
Or gotten further away.
Yeah, absolutely. He seems to be, obviously he's... Like they said, he's like schizophrenic.
Yeah.
So, he has his struggles, but I feel like he's very thought out.
And this might show a different side to mental health too. Not everybody that has challenges is incapable of being somewhat functioning.
Yeah.
Like, obviously the schizophrenia is going to play a huge role in his everyday life. It's a big thing to deal with, right? Unfortunately. And speaking about dealing with in the life, this is a very, very touchy subject, to bring it back to Jordan and their situation. It's very, when he said that line in the script, that showed, that raised a really interesting question in my mind. But it also answers 2 things, right? And I won't get too into it because I don't want to offend anyone here, because I support, I'll just make it clear, I support people being themselves.
Yeah.
However you want to identify as, whatever you want to identify as long as you're happy, you're comfortable in your skin, no one's getting hurt, you're not hurting people. Do you think live your life physically, yeah.
Or,
do you think manipulative, yeah.
Whatever it's saying.
Live your life, you do you, be the best you gotta be on this earth. Because at the end of the day, when you go in the dirt or you turn into ash, that's it.
We're all turned into skeletons eventually.
Exactly.
So,
well, unless you get to ash, because then you're not a skeleton.
Well,
you just turn.
You become something.
You become dust and become one with it. I heard this is a weird conversation. I'm not going to get too much into this, but I heard a theoretical physicist. They were talking about how our body, like our matter and everything, gets sent back out into the universe, like our cells. They get sent out in the universe. So technically we live on forever, but we don't.
We just live in the forest.
It's not, okay. I'm not going to get into that conversation, but it's a really interesting video, guys. It was a scientific approach, not really a spiritual, esoteric. It was more scientific. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that I support people being who they are. Okay. Again, as long as what you're doing is not physically harming anyone or insulting anyone, that goes both ways. Respect people's right to choose who they want to be, how they want to live their life, whether you agree or disagree, right? Now, that being said, now that I've made that clear, I found it very interesting that the father said, hey, I'm not a bigot, but, and I understand that some kids don't have a choice in being who they are. Like if someone wants to come out to their parents and they're like, no, I'm not straight, like I'm not, I'm not straight, I'm gay or bi or whatever, right? Whatever they come out, and they come out to their parents. He's basically, for what it sounds like, he's saying like, no, I'm okay with that, and I understand that people, if they have this yearning in them to be who they are, they have no choice. He's saying that, but on the flip side, he said you actually have a choice, and that's the not funny, but that's the crazy part about it is that Jordan actually does have a choice. Yeah. Now, the question I have for Jordan's perspective: did Jordan always feel this way? But just never, could never express it. Yeah. And now they can, so they do. I
mean, Jordan.
Or they're just doing it to spite their dad. I don't know.
I mean, we've seen different sides of Jordan. Like they, when they went out with their friends or whatever. Yeah. They went out more male presenting. Yeah. And then, sometimes they go more female presenting. Yeah. So, I mean, for them, might just be like, I'm here. Like, it doesn't matter what,
I mean, one thing they did say, which is true though, like I'm always me. I've always been me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what
my physical, right? Right. Which is why I say, like, when we all turn dust and ashes, it don't matter, bruh. When we gone, we gone. That's it.
They were getting that thing as, a female presenting. I'm sure they'll be getting it as a male presenting.
Presenting too.
It don't matter, man.
They just living their life as, I forgot the word they use, but I just say non-binary for the sake of saying non-binary. Yeah. Whatever. Like, whatever, man. Like,
gender fluid.
Maybe,
I don't know exactly what they go by.
But I can understand. I don't want to shut down Dad's perspective though. If the dad is being genuine in what he's saying. Like if he's saying, I'm not a bigot, and if he's really not a bigot.
But if he wasn't, then he wouldn't be saying that to,
I get that, but I also understand that if you, I don't know. Honestly, like,
it depends. You can't just say you're not a bigot unless it comes to your own child.
And that's true. And I'm with you. What I'm trying to say, it's like a really touchy spot to be in because it's like
your child's an adult. Like you're not going to support them.
Like, did Jordan start switching to a female presenting? At what point did this start to happen? Did it happen from since they were a kid, or did it happen much later in life? I mean, but even if it happened much later in life, you know what? Never mind. Because powers are no, because put it this way, powers are no. Forget what I'm saying. I don't think I can fully agree with that then, because put it this way, right? Like, what if, I don't know, somebody's kid was male at birth, and then, I don't know, at the age of 27, they decided that they wanted to transition to a woman. I know it's a very touchy subject, but I'm talking about it because it's brought up, okay? Yeah. It's in the context of the show. They're talking about it. Don't get mad at me. Get mad at the writers. I'm bringing up a subject that they're bringing up. What if somebody's like 27, right? They decide at that point, maybe they've always felt that they were a woman on the inside.
Decided to take the jump.
But decided to take the jump to actually begin the transition process as an adult later. And there's a lot of people who are like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
are you just going to now automatically hate your child now?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm changing what I'm saying about dad now, because it can kind of be seen in the same way if you think about it.
I don't know. From what they were like saying the whole time, it's like it seemed to me that like Jordan was kind of this way since they were a child.
They were a child, yeah.
Just how they were speaking about it.
Yeah.
So either way, I think they're, the dad was always like, "Oh, this is my son."
I guess, yeah.
He'll only be my son. They were born a boy, so
yeah. And I guess in a way that is hypocritical.
It's very hypocritical.
If you really think about it, as I'm talking through it now and I'm really putting it into perspective.
Yeah.
Because because
there's plenty of people that will say, "Oh, I don't care if people are gay, straight, whatever,
it
that's it, my child."
Yeah, you know what? Yeah,
there's
that's
so
true.
many people like that, but with that being said alone, you're still a bigot.
He's still being a bigot, yeah. So all right, I retract my statement though. I was trying to see if I could understand what Dad was saying, but
yeah,
I don't think it really applies anymore because powers are no, right? Jordan has the ability to switch back between how they were born and what they look like as a female or a female passing person, right? That's an ability that they have, but they're still Jordan.
Yeah. None of that changes. So I'm not trying to say if you love your child, born a male and then they transition to a woman at 27, you just going to stop loving your child when you love them for 27 years and all of a sudden just don't. Of that stuff is very complicated for some older people
to understand or accept.
But just even putting it in a different perspective, outside of gender identity and all that stuff, that's let's say for example, there's a parent that's in their 50s, right?
Yeah.
They're very against tattoos.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're like, "Oh, my child doesn't have a tattoo. My child will never get a tattoo," but they have a grown kid, 20-something-year-old.
Yeah.
And they come home with a tattoo. And are you really going to say you don't love your child still?
Yeah.
Because they have a tattoo.
And it's crazy. Some parents are like that. And they will literally disown their whole child because they got some markings on their body that wouldn't matter.
I got 3 tattoos. Both of my parents have tattoos.
It's I'll give you an example. I'm thankful for the parents I have. I'm really grateful for the parents I have because I do understand and recognize that everybody is as fortunate.
Yeah.
But my parents don't have tattoos. I got a tattoo and my parents didn't really like the idea of it at first. They didn't really support me getting a tattoo, but I told them I was going to get it anyway.
Yeah.
And what I got is something that represents something I cherish and it's important to me. And I remember my dad, basically saying, "You know what, it may not be for me, but you made a decision that was smart for you and it was wise for you.
Yeah.
And you know what, I think you're worthy of the mark. The mark is something that's symbolic to me. So he, which I won't get into, but he was like, "You know what, I think you're worthy of it." And so that was his way of basically saying, "You know what, I don't really support it for myself, or I didn't really like you having it, but you know what, you're still my son. It's not a big deal."
Yeah.
And I feel again, my parents have always been very open and honest about their opinions, especially if they disagree with you. But I've never felt that they would never support me in a certain situation. And I am sorry that a lot of people don't have that experience, especially some other people in my family don't have that experience with their parents. And I am sorry about it. So I do feel for Jordan in that aspect that, that they, and even Andre too, is just trying to be the perfect son, I do feel for them because both Andre and, we'll get to Andre in a second if we want, but Jordan, I do feel sorry because they see their parents and they immediately feel shame. And even Emma too. I feel sorry for her and her relationship with her mom. They see their parents, most of these Gen V kids, most of these kids out here want to have that experience. Them
to, be the best.
Right. And they were a transaction.
Don't realize that, they're really traumatizing their children.
Yeah. It sucks because they don't have good relationships with their parents.
Especially even touch girl.
Yeah.
Parents won't show up. Parents won't even touch her.
Don't even look at her, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm grateful because, I don't have that experience with my family. But I am sorry that a lot don't. it hurts my heart when I hear, whether it's characters or a show or, you know, or, you know, real life, it breaks my heart to know that people don't know what that feels like. It sucks.
Yeah.
I really hate it.
You know, a lot of people find their own family in those cases, but it still sucks when, you know, your blood family is, you know, not supportive of you.
It sucks, and it creates a bunch of trauma. And we're seeing, that's another thing I'm liking about the show too, that we're actually, that's part of the consequences. We're seeing the trauma that this you know, leads, because even look at Marie too, though, when she's getting, she now has to deal with the potential fact that her parents didn't even really love her, and that her parents,
and she'll never know the true answer.
She'll never know the true answer now, because from her perspective, her parents are perfect. They would never give her Gen V for money or whatever.
You know, we really don't even know if they did do it for money or if they even didn't do it for money.
A lot of parents probably, like, especially like in her case, you know, being in a black home too, could have been like, you know what, I'll do this for my kid so that they don't have to struggle anymore. Especially if they come from a low income home, not just black people, but just like in general, any person of color that has any trouble in this country in terms of being respected in the workplace, whether they come from the sticks or not. Because there's, you know, people of color who, you know, were fortunate enough to grow up in suburbs and, you know, things like that. And they have really high paying jobs, but they're not being respected in the workplace. Right. They're not being respected, you know, when they go out in public. They're not being respected when they do anything. So regardless of your financial situation, the parents might have just been like, you know what, like, you're a black girl, and they, you know, they had a house, everything, you know, most people don't have that. But they had a house and everything. Maybe I want to give you the Gen V so that you can be like A-Train, so that you can be, you know.
Yeah, because I mean, we saw, you know, in the first episode, like her dad, when A-Train first joined.
First black man in the 7.
Yeah, he was really excited. You know, he's like, this history.
Yep. And he was like, man, one day one of you girls are going to make history, not just for us, but for your community. So they might have honestly had good intentions. Whereas it's like, look, I just want the best for my kid. We live in a world with soups. I want them to have an opportunity,
or like a fighting chance.
But then they also could have just been like, nah, man, we need that money.
Yeah.
So we really don't know exactly which one it is.
The only way that we would know is if there was like an actual, like a letter physically from like her parents.
Yeah, specifying.
You know, wrote when she was a baby or something. You know, as a just in case something happened, or you know, or
crazy.
You know, parents do that sometimes. Like, oh, this is the day you were born, so you could read it on your 18th birthday, or you know, some stuff like that.
Yep.
So
it's just crazy because it's like you look at it and I don't know. You think, and like getting back to Andre now too with his dad, it's like his dad claims that, look, man, this is not about me. His dad was either a member of the 7 in the past.
But we know his dad's on the board.
He's on the board.
Yeah.
Or he just knows something. And
he's on the board. We saw him.
Oh, we saw him on the board. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He's on the board.
Yeah, we physically saw him.
Yeah. So. His statue's at the school, so he may not have been on the 7, but he might have had some other team.
He had some prestige.
Yeah, he had some prestige enough to have a statue next to Homelander.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's on the board or whatever. And he's saying that how, you know, from his perspective, he's like, no, man, it's not about me. It's just about your career. I want you to have a good career. I want you to want it for yourself. But a part of him is putting this pressure on his son.
Yeah, because he wants him to live on his legacy.
To live off of his legacy. Yeah. You know, but then he's also like, look, man, like, you got to do what you got to do because, you know, as a black man, you got to like take yours. You know, you got to do your thing. And like, it's always pressure on people of color, man. It really is. A lot of y'all don't know. Y'all might be saying it's a race thing, but it's true, though. We've seen it in the show, man. We've seen it plenty of times, especially like with Marie being a black girl and Andre, too.
They literally said when they were like, Marie was talking with Jordan, or not even Marie was, well, yeah. Is that, you know, Jordan doesn't sell well in the South.
Yeah.
And Marie's like, well, I don't either.
Yep. And it was even too, but even the we saw this in The Boys too with that Black Noir and some other people like, oh, you know, we can't, like, you know, urban church. You're gonna have this urban hero that we're gonna send to the hood, and basically like he'll sell well in Chicago and Atlanta, but he won't sell well in Texas or Florida. And it's like
we need people for all of the big cities,
right? And you know they it is a factor that they bring up in the show that shows a real truth about how people market. You know, sexuality, how they market ethnicity, how they market race. You know, it's a sad truth, the parallel that the show brings. Yeah. Ironically, with all these big corporations. That's why I say it's meta, because these corporations literally do the same thing. Yeah. Like, why do you think they hired Marie, the actress that plays Marie? Like, it's the same reason. Like, it's the same thing that they're doing in the show. So they're just making fun of their own selves.
Absolutely.
Which is wild. So it's like, you know, that's just what it is. Like, even some other stuff I won't get into right now because
it's a whole
trade secrets. But but it's just like, you know, it's this whole thing, man. But like this is what the show does well.
I feel like it makes good conversations, and it brings up a lot of topics that are, you know, sometimes not easy to talk about.
According to the Homelanders, they can say it's wokeism.
Yeah.
Get all this daggone wokeism off my screen.
I mean, we did see a Homelander.
We did see a Homelander follower. So get all this daggone wokeism.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people like
all these damn sheeple. Y'all need to be lions. Let me stop.
No, there is a lot of people like that, but it brings up good conversations because it's like almost making real life a comedy.
It makes a real, because you look at it and you're like oh, damn, bro, this is so ridiculous.
But like it actually happens.
Right, but then you think about it, it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is happening right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, this is the state of our politics right now. This is the state of our, you know, gender equality.
You know, we won't get too much more.
This is our racial equality issues. So, I mean, I'm just saying these are narratives that the show is bringing up. I'm only addressing it because it's being brought up. That's it. But we won't touch too much on it because I don't want to make it overly about political, that. Yeah. But we've already kind of made it a little bit. We're not going to. We're okay. It's commentary.
It's commentary.
Anyways, so unless you have anything else you want to add.
You know, I mean,
any closing thoughts on the premiere? What are your ratings?
I think it's off to a good start. I'm probably with you around a 7-ish.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see where it's going. Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we will wrap up here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you made it to the end like the last one, thank you. And we do appreciate your thoughts and comments down below. Yeah, let's hear what your thoughts are on Gen V. Are you liking it? Do you think it's mid? Do you think, you know, it's peak? Do you think it has potential? Let us know your thoughts down below. All that. Yeah. And we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Clockmaster and
Cosmic Binks.
Out.